First, my name is Saito Takashi. Saito is my family name, and I'm from Japan and Kyoto Prefecture. Kyoto Prefecture is located in the west side of Japan. And this March, I graduated from university, and my course is International Relations in Faculty of Integrated Human Studies, and my major was International Politics, especially international relations between Japan and America and Southeast Asian countries. And especially I focus on transmobility of culture or technology or people during the Cold War, how these country or region affected each other, or how Japan contributed to Southeast Asian countries, and that was my research topics. And now I studied in University of Sussex in global studies, and my course is migration and global development. And as a hobby, I play Ego. Ego is that kind of Japanese traditional board games. The two players put black stone and white stone in turns. This is one kind of traditional games, and in Japan I was a teacher of Go. Yeah, and also I hope I can play Go here in UK. And second, I just quickly introduce hometown Kyoto and my sponsoring Rotary Club in Kyoto. As you know, Kyoto is maybe so famous place as a tourist spot. And yeah, before COVID-19, more than 8 million foreign people visit Kyoto in a year. And Kyoto, we can see a lot of temple and shrines. It's one kind of shrines or palace for emperor in Kyoto. Because Kyoto was the old capital in Japan more than 1,000 years. And also that's why these temple and shrines are based on rich Buddhism and Shinto culture in Japan. And also Kyoto is famous for many traditional crafts, handmade crafts. This kimono is a traditional Japanese dress. And also yuzenzome is one traditional way to dyeing fabrics. So this fabric is so elaborate. I think it's quite difficult to make this. And also, we call this in kiyomizuyaki. This is one traditional way to make ceramics in Kyoto. Maybe it's quite expensive, but we can use this for a long time. And secondly, my sponsoring Rotary Club is in Kyoto is Japan Rotary E-Club 2650. One of the biggest characteristics of this Rotary Club is they have meetings online. So the Rotarians from south part of Japan to north part of Japan, south part of Japan, they get together in meeting online. And also last month, October, this Rotary Club supports holding the Kyoto Peace Conference. This conference is combined knowledge between academic field and practical organizations. And also during COVID, this Rotary clubs engaged in emergency medical support to Nepal. And next, I will explain my major in Sussex. And again, my course was migration and global development. I'm studying migration studies, so interdisciplinary field. So in one side it's quite difficult because we need various perspectives such as geography or economics or politics or so many fields. So I think it's quite difficult, but for me it's so interesting to study. And also I focus on the perspective from global south perspective. And the topic is why people must migrate, or what makes people migrate. I focus on these points. And also, so in order to analyze migration, so I also focus on the migration theory and about social process or integration, or case studies, or smuggling, or trafficking, or child labor, or development actors. And I try to this theory to my field work. I try to apply this theory to my field work. And also, especially among this migration, I focus on female migrants who migrate from poor rural area and work in precarious jobs. They work as a domestic workers, factory workers in Thailand or South Asian countries. And I want to focus on the community building there, or how they construct their community or how they connect with each other through social remittances or some connection by using the social networks like SNS or Facebook, like that. And finally, I also focus on how local communities are affected by each others. This is my field topic. So next year, when I write dissertation, I want to focus on this topic, and I want to do field work in some places. So let's quickly why I study migration, because in undergraduate I study international relations, and I focus on development countries such as South Asian countries. So I found so many problem issues about migration. Migration is strongly related to precarious situation. So I saw interest about it, and I think the mobility or community building is quite important aspect to analyze migration. So that's why I focus on migration here. And also, especially in Japan, Japan is an aging society, so we have to get more labor force from abroad. So in that point, migration issue is maybe current controversial problem in Japan. I think this perspective is helpful in order to address these problem issues. So I try to learn structural migration, practical case studies. And in the future, I want to work in international organization or United Nations in migration fields. And also in the future, furthermore, I want to involve in policy making process about migration and poverty. And last, I have a valuable experience and enjoy so much in UK. For example, I can join such kind of Rotary Club activities, and also I can study migration and get new perspectives there, because some of my classmates are from abroad, and they live in different background and perspective with me. So I can get new perspective from them, and also I can meet a lot of friends or people there. And I will stay here until September next week, and during that period I want to study migration more and join volunteer activity or some social community activities here. I think social community is quite different between Japan and UK, so I want to join this activity, or also I want to learn education here. And finally, hopefully I can have a lot of opportunity to make a lot of people, to meet a lot of people. So I want to make social network here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Kazuho Yamashita from Japan. I'm from Osaka, Japan. Maybe most of you know that city. Yeah. Now I'm studying international education and development in University of Sussex. So after I came here, I just graduated from Kobe University in Japan last March. Yeah. And there, my major was global cultures. When I was in the third year of the university, I had an opportunity to study in the Philippines. And at that time, I was working in an NGO in Manila as well. So I will talk about this experience later. So first, this is my hometown, Osaka. Sadly, we cannot see the map, but this is a map of Japan, and I can. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is a map of Japan, and in the middle, our capital, Tokyo, here, and Osaka is in the west area, and as Takashi mentioned, Kyoto is next to Osaka, so we're kind of from same area. Yeah. And these two pictures are random pictures from of Osaka, and this one is really like symbol of Osaka. This is advertisement of one company, but many site viewers come here and take a picture in front of this. So if you come to Osaka, maybe you will see this, I guess. And this is really historical building, Osaka Castle. Yeah, it's really famous as well. And I guess this picture was taken in April. We can see a lot of cherry blossoms with this building. It's so beautiful. And if you have an opportunity to come to Japan, I highly recommend you to come in April or in October, because in April you can enjoy these cherry blossoms, and in October you can enjoy colored leaves like red and orange with this castle. So yeah. So next, about my study. So as I said, my major here is international education and development. These are the courses I'm taking right now, and especially my favorite course is the first one, Theories of International Education and Development. So in this course, we learn a lot of theories of development, such as modernization, neo-colonialism, neoliberalism, and so on. But the reason why I love this course is that I can think about the Philippines connecting to the theories, so I can understand the real context using these theories in detail. Yeah. Okay, so now I talk about my experience in the Philippines, and this is the reason why I chose to come here. So I was in the Philippines for 8 months, and for 6 months I was working for an NGO there. So I was in the capital city of the Philippines, and the name is Manila, and there are so many street children. So basically they live on the street, they are kind of homeless, and they live apart from family, so they don't have anyone who can take care of them. So what I did was I was planning a lot of education projects and education projects for them, and with this man I go to the road and I did some like education on sanitization for them using pictures and storytelling like this. Yeah. But my question was, is it really effective for their future? Is this education is really suitable for them? So yeah, I really wanted to know what kind of education works well for their future. Yeah, that's why I came here. Yes, this is the last content. So far what I love in the UK is sweets. And especially I want to mention the price and the quality. So basically, living fees here is more expensive than in Japan, but sweets are the exception. Yeah, I really love such kind of things, and I can get quality sweets in cheaper price here. So I'm really enjoying it. Especially my favorite is this one. I love the combination of chocolate and caramel. So yeah. So that's all. Can you go to the next slide? Thank you for listening.
Express the gratitude to you for my study at UK. Thanks to the Rotary Club, I've been able to study without any concern and problem. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move to my self-introduction. My name is Asuri. It's not me. It's me, okay. My name is Ayano, and I was born in rural area in Japan and spent 80 years there. Oh, the number shows the year I spent, so don't try to calculate to find out my age. And after graduating from high school, I entered Tokyo University and I studied about law and politics. And I also got a master's degree in public policy in Tokyo University. And that picture was taken in Nepal. When I was a university school student, Japanese government, agency, and Tokyo University offered me an opportunity to teach about the public health for Nepal children. So during my study at Tokyo University, I visited almost all of the ASEAN countries. And after graduating from the high school, sorry, I can't, the words are really confusing, but I started my career as a strategy consultant at Japanese think tank. At that time, my client was Japanese government and Japanese companies. At that time, I was making strategy for them. And especially my main field was infrastructure industry. So I visited to the UK on my business trip. At that time, my client was a Japanese railway company. So they really wanted to know about UK's railway situation because UK's railway is the leading case in the world. And then I realized that UK's railway is impressive and great. And before coming to the UK, last year I was a researcher at the Japanese JICA. JICA is a Japanese International Cooperation Agency, a kind of Japanese government agency. Yes, I was research about the situation. As you know, last night COVID-19 pandemic was going on. So the big question was how Japan and Japanese government should cooperate with developing countries in the post-COVID-19 world. So last year, I was in a team under the president of Japanese government agency and make a strategy for Japanese government and policy recommendation. And this September, I finally got to come to Brighton. And my hobby is eating, cooking, or today's dinner was the best I've ever had in the UK. Eating and playing board game, and yes, I like traveling. Next, please. Okay, let me move on about my hometown. I was born in Shikoku Island, which is located the western part of Japan. It's a small island. And which has a beautiful scenery. These photos are rivers in Shikoku Island, which are known as the most beautiful and the cleanest river in Japan. As well, there is the oldest hot spring, which is mentioned in the ancient book dating back 3,000 years. And also, thanks to the rich nature, food is delicious. And as you can see, the Shikoku Island is surrounded by the ocean, so you can enjoy both mountain food and seafood. Next, please. Okay, I'm gonna talk about what I'm studying. Now I'm at the Sussex University and Institute of Development Studies (IDS). And now I'm challenging to get a second master's degree here. And the course is Globalization, Business and Development. And this is the citation from IDS website. As you can see, our course feature is focused on business and economics. And this is a module of my course. And yes, you can also see the business and economics. Yeah. So I especially interested in poverty reduction. So I like to analyze the problem from the perspective of economic and business. Next, please. Thank you. So my dream is to contribute the poverty reduction, but how can I do that? the reason why I'm studying the subject at IDS is to find out the ways. Although I have some advantages, the biggest one is love and passion for my researches, but I also have many disadvantages. For example, I need to learn more about historical background or knowledge or information about development studies, and as well, I have difficulties in my English skill because for me it's first long stay in English-speaking countries. So even in listening, I have some difficulties. But I wanna promise that I wanna promise that I will show you a better English after 1 year. Yes, sorry, the previous page. Okay, yes, and I want to continue to pursue the how during my life. And if I have a chance, I would like to challenge a PhD course. Okay, please. Okay, so I'd like to end my presentation by showing before and after. The before picture is a night view in front of Tokyo Station. This is Tokyo Station, and this is my office, my previous office. And yeah, it looks like beautiful, but there is no nature. And yes, the night view is beautiful, but I know the reason. The reason why the night view is beautiful is that workers like me work until midnight and turn on the office light. Yes, it's beautiful, but it's not sustainable. But after the picture is amazing, now I live on the Sussex University campus, and I can walk 5 minutes walk to this is Summer Park from my dormitory. So when I first saw it, I thought it looks like the picture from BBC. And now I love Brighton so much, and I'm very happy to study at Brighton, surrounded by the beautiful nature and ocean. Thank you.
Our famous agricultural food is these peanuts. So, and next, yes. So we have the most popular, most major international airport, Narita Airport. So if you come to Japan, you might use this airport, I think. And we have our hometown is also famous for the soy sauce factory. So do you know this brand, Kikkoman? This is my hometown's brand. So we have the factory of this soy sauce company. And what I was studying in Sussex University, as I said, my course is social development, and I'm studying about the theory and practice of sociology and development study. So I'm not IDS student, so I'm studying not only development, but the kind of the area between the sociology and development. And so, like topic samples should be like this, or social business, or like this is the more concentrated topics like decolonialism and dependency and so on. And my interest is in this to solve various inequalities through a comprehensive new approach. Like I'm very interested in this problem, the birth inequalities, that like inequalities from where you are born or when you're born in, some yes. So, for example, if you were born in like female, then in some situation, the person can be get the job, or in some situation, if you were born in like the particular religion, then you can't get the money, or you can't get the education opportunity. So I want to change this situation or improve this kind of things. So yeah, as I write this, so I want to define this vague perception of equality, right? Sorry. In academic knowledge and terms, and I want to find ways to reduce inequalities from a social and community perspective. So that's why I chose this course, Social Development Studies. And so this is the last slide. Since I came here UK, so far I was enjoying the life with my flatmates, and of course Brighton has ocean view, so it's so beautiful. I'm enjoying every day, and I can find some problem in the life in Brighton, this is the situation of strike of the garbage collector.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me here today as a guest. It's a real privilege and pleasure to be here this evening and to share this time with you. Both because it's lovely to see people in a room sharing interactions and smiling and being together again. It's just so heartwarming to see that happening. But also because I really want to take this moment to just say that I think the Rotary Club is just doing such an excellent job with international students, and I think you should really all take a moment to really stand back from what you're doing and thank yourselves and praise yourselves, because there are not many people in the world nowadays who look outwards to what's happening outside and say, how can we make a concerted effort to really help people and change people's lives? I think what the Rotary Society is doing is absolutely phenomenal, and for that reason it's a real privilege for me to be here tonight and to be part of this over the last few years. And I just think I also want to, in thanking everyone who's here tonight, I also want to, if I may, take a moment to thank Peter as well, because really he brought me into this. He introduced me to the Rotary Society, and without meeting him, none of us would be here tonight. So I don't really have the words to thank you, but I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that you do, not just for the students who are here tonight, but for the ones in the past, and if I may, maybe for the ones in the future as well. And then I want to say to the students, I know, because I'm just as anxious as you when you have to stand up and talk. I know it's scary and I know it's nerve-wracking, but you have done so well tonight. You have made us really happy and you've warmed our hearts, and it's been so nice to see you sharing your experiences and sharing your life back home with us here. So, thank you so much too for what...
Maybe about 30 years ago, she studies in Americas, and also she gets, like me, she also got the master degree in there. And so my supervisor recommended me to try to get this Rotary scholarship, because we can make some social networks, some connectivity with, and I can get a lot of new perspective from here. So that's why I choose this scholarship. Thank you very much.
Okay, so in my case, actually my grandmother was principal of our elementary school in my hometown, so she had some connection with Rotary Club there. So I have known about this club. And when I think about studying abroad as a master student, I was searching online about scholarship because to live abroad was really expensive and I had no working experience, so obviously I didn't have enough money. Yeah, and at the time, so in an online page which is written about some scholarships, Rotary Club was one of the choices, and I called to the club. And at the time, I remembered about what my grandma was talking about this club, and she had a good relationship with one of the Rotarians there. So, that's how I encountered Rotary Club. Thank you.
Yeah, for my case, I analyzed about the COVID-19 situation last year, and for I have to know about the previous virus. I mean Ebola virus, and during the study, I knew about the Rotary Club, because the Rotary Club has been contributing to the overcome the Ebola virus. Yeah, this is my story, and yes, Rotary Club's history and activity are very impressive.
In Japanese educational system, when I was child, we started learning English when I entered in junior high school. I was 12 years old, and at that time I just started studying English. But in junior high school day, I don't focus English at all because for me it was not fun to study English. But after entering university, or in order to pass the entrance examinations of university, I studied English a bit harder, and also just after studying abroad in UK in Sussex, I try to improve my speaking ability more. Thank you.
As he said, Japanese people start to learn English when they are 12 years old. But in my so generally Japanese English education focus on input. I mean, reading and listening. That's I don't know if it's good or not, but so it means we really don't have opportunity to speak and write. So that's my difficulty. But anyway, so I really didn't have any opportunity to speak. And so how I practiced speaking, maybe after I go to the Philippines, I had a lot of opportunity to socialize and to make friends, especially on Friday nights, like drinking or such kind of things. In such opportunities, I improved my speaking skill, I guess.
The same situation. And in addition to the Takashi and Kazuho explaining the language structure between Japanese and English is totally different, so it's difficult for Japanese students to learn about English. For example, I went to Russia as an exchange student for 6 months, and for me it is easier to learn Russian language than English language, because of the language complexity is similar than Russian with Japanese. So we all started learn about English language from junior high school, but at least me, I don't good at speaking English still now. This is why. Okay, so compared with the English university, British university, and Japanese university, the big difference is to have an opinion. For Japanese university, the most important thing is memorize the important things. But in British University, we have to think a lot and answer and to have a own opinion. I think it's the big difference between the Japanese university and British university.
Yeah. Okay.
To be honest, for me, because my undergraduate study was on global cultures, we had a lot of debates or we had a lot of discussion. So it was different from her case maybe. We didn't put so much emphasis on memorizing or remembering. We had to have our opinion in Japanese university as well. But for me, the biggest difference between Japanese university and Sussex University is how the environment is really international, like how international environment the university offers to us. Although my major was global cultures, there was few international students in Japan. So, but after I came here in my course, there are students from more than 20 countries. So I really can learn a lot of contexts and a lot of backgrounds of a variety of countries. So it's a big difference for me.
I think we'll ask Nanami next.
Nanami, did you hear the question?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yes, I said the difference between the university in Britain and the Japan. I think the experience of the master student, because in the many cases in Japan university in the master course, the students will be like after graduated from the undergraduate and directly into the master course, so they don't have no job experience or any other mature experience. But in the case of UK, most of the students in master course, they have all job experience or any other experience in NGO or any other organization. So this is a big difference between us, I think.
Thank you.
I think maybe in my case, one of the biggest difference is attendance. Yeah, UK students attend class more than Japanese students. Maybe Japanese students always skip the class. So yeah, I was so surprised because most of classmates join the class. I think it's one of the biggest difference. Yeah, and also in Japanese case, especially in master course, in Japan, master course is 2 years, and during 2 years, maybe most students focus on their own topic, their own research topic for dissertations. But in here, firstly, we start general topics such as how migration theory is or what is the development from general topic to narrowing topic. But in Japan, we only focus on one topic. I think it's quite different from between Japan and UK, but it depends on the case.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more question. Do you have a question, Jane?
Well, it was, yes, I do. I just wanted to know how many islands make up.
You can confer. You can have 2 minutes.
Really?
How many?
I thought it's 200 or like that.
I don't know. How many
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We talked about number of the islands in Japan, and I said to them, Japan has 4 islands. And they said, he said, no, 3,000. the answer is 6,000.
Yeah, I didn't know that.